So you're making a difference now with the work that you were doing. Where
Right.
did real estate bug bite you? How'd that part come into your life?
Right. So I came back to the school district in 2008, managing the re-engagement center. Excuse me. So I'm managing the re-engagement center. It's doing well. So I get another office as well too. So I'm managing like 2 and 3 offices. So it's really doing well. So around 2011, there were some funding issues. So, I'm the manager of the office. I have a nice paying salary. My director comes to me and say, hey, there's some budget cuts coming down the pike, some funding issues. We're probably going to have to lay you off. Now, as I mentioned before, I've been laid off a few times in previous jobs, right? So now at this point in 2011, I'm like, wait a minute, I have a master's degree. I'm managing offices. I'm doing well. The office is doing well. I have data to prove that our program works. And now I'm being threatened with a layoff, and not threatened in a bad way, right? It's just more so about the funding. It is what it is, right? So it just didn't feel good, right? It just didn't feel good for me to now think about being laid off a third time, coming home to my wife. And I think at that point, my oldest daughter is now 16, but in 2011, she was, I think 6, right? Or 5. So now figuring out how to come back home to my wife and say, hey, you know what? We're going to have to change our lifestyle and adjust our income because I'm going to be laid off again. Right. It just didn't feel right. It wasn't a good feeling as a man, being able to be a provider for my family. It just didn't feel right. So I started going on this journey of how to generate a second income for my family, not dependent upon a job. Right. And so I started looking into real estate because I had a few brothers in my church that were already doing real estate. So I basically tapped into them, start reading things online, reading books, and really just like being hands-on with them, asking them questions and really taking notes to figure out what is the next step for me as I look at generating income for my family outside of my job. So thank God that I didn't get laid off. They found some funding from a different organization. So I was blessed to not be laid off. But at the same time, my journey was still now, how do I get income outside from my 9 to 5? And so I found a property through a realtor, good friend of mine, that it needed some work done to it. It was a bank-owned property in Southwest Philadelphia. So between my mentors and my realtor, we put it together, and I bought it in 2012.
Okay. Now, what's interesting about it is you said that you actually didn't even lose your job at that point. But and here's a question I got for you. If not for that threat, do you think you've ever would have even looked out to try to get the real estate, or you just went ahead and pursued a career?
Good question. I think that so in 2011, I turned 30. So I knew that it was important for me at 30 years old to look at my life and analyze my life and figure out how to be a better man, a better man of God, better husband, better father, better person. So I knew that I wanted to do something that helped me get to a different level. I didn't know it was real estate, but I think that threat definitely, helped me, motivate me and push me to say, you gotta take this thing, called life, and start navigating it and start managing it on your own terms and not just 9 to 5, right? Because here's the thing, at the school district, in my position, my salary was almost 6 figures, and I had insurance for darn near free. So I was living a life. I got a master's degree, I got insurance, health insurance. My salary is darn near 6 figures. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm content. But when that threat came, it helped me realize that a master's degree, a doctorate degree, that don't matter. If you get laid off, you laid off and you unemployed with a master's degree and a doctorate.
And sometimes that's more difficult to find work, because people say you're overqualified for things, right?
Exactly.